Guess who just got shouted out in a post by Think Media? What's up, guys? Welcome to day 21 of VLOGMAS, and I am so pumped and excited about 4 more days left to go in this VLOGMAS series. I couldn't be more pumped. So I literally just finished the stream. If you were on our last Friday live day of 2019, then you know we just had an incredible live stream. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link that up in the YouTube card up above, and you can definitely check that out. But before I go any further, I want you guys to see something.
Why do you curse so much? For a guy who doesn't need to.
Because I only believe in authenticity. It's how I talk. Like, when I think about, do I care about my employees? It feels more like, in my brain and my heart and my soul, do I give a fuck about my employees more than do I care about my employees? That's from my brain and heart to my mouth. I am willing to deal with the ramifications of me being my full self.
Do you curse at home?
A ton.
In front of your kids?
Yep. I'm just not devastated to go into my 4th grade teacher and Mrs. Thompson's like, you have a real problem. I'm like, what's that, Mrs. Thompson? Your daughter curses. I just don't see that as a real problem. Me and Mrs. Thompson just don't see the world the same way. Again, I'm the byproduct of Mrs. Thompson telling me my whole life that I would be a failure. Mrs. Thompson thought that a D in science was going to be my downfall, just like she thinks saying is her downfall. I don't agree.
So I know I don't do cursing on my channel, but at the same time, I think that was probably the first time I let the F-bomb drop. And of course, who else would it be? Gary V. Now, I'm using the Canon M50 to stream on my channels and things like that. I'm very intentional about the things that I do, and one of the things that I choose not to do is curse any longer. I used to curse for a long time. I would consider myself a professional cursor, but when you're wanting to do things differently, you're wanting to change your life and go about things very, very differently, you make different shifts that impact. Is there times where it still slips out occasionally? But at the same time, I can honestly tell you, I don't curse. That's something I'm very intentional about in my life. Now, I've just played for you a clip by the great, wonderful Gary Vaynerchuk. And as I'm looking and I'm seeing that, I got this tag from Sean, I also see this recent post from Gary V, where he is saying about the F word and stuff like that and about cursing. And I've wanted to kind of touch on that before, where should you curse in your business? Is that really professional? Is that the right thing to do? But I think in the shortest way possible, in a, understandable way, he's explaining why he does it. And I agree with him, and at the same, you know what? Here's the thing. Again, me making my changes in my life, I agree that I should not do it. That's not something that I should do. I have a very full vocabulary, and I can choose to say whatever it is that I choose to say. Like I say the bee's knees quite often. And so those are some of the things that I care to say, others that I don't. However, in that first part where he talks about his authenticity, he believes in that so much more that he's willing to pay the consequences for being himself. That part I fully agree with. Now, when I first decided that I'm going to start doing this YouTube channel and I want to talk about things for small business entrepreneurship, when you think about business in general, when it comes to marketing, it is the corniest stuff that you have ever seen, that you have ever heard of. And it's really only recently that we're starting to see big businesses start to pay attention to smaller businesses that are making bigger strides than some of them in a lot of ways. And they're being more personable, and the things that worked for the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s don't work for up into the 2000s. And so just because they have worked and there's been some residual success, it's not consistent any longer. So on tonight's live stream, I talked about, just in mentioning how Amazon, with their challenges that they're having, they've also reached a point to where they have hit a critical mass with touching and tapping into a pain point in a very specific and niche market, which is busy working people and everyday people that are busy, everybody. And they've tapped into that vein so well when it comes to the issue and the pain point of your time. They have crushed so many businesses, it's pathetic. And not just them, you have other companies like Netflix as well. And so now we're looking at companies like a Netflix, and we saw Blockbuster go away. Now, to my understanding, Netflix offered Best Buy to get in. It's like, you want to do this, or you want to buy us, or they don't want to get in. You don't want to hear what we have to say about this. Bye bye, Blockbuster. They are no more. Other video stores, they are no more. Not yet like that. They are no more. Circuit City, bye bye, Circuit City. You're not mattering. Best Buy, they're tapping into something, and I hope that they continue to kind of pick up on this. They decided they're going to get some camera setups and shops and scenes because they're understanding video is taking precedence. It would be wise. You're into the tech stuff. Offer where people can come in to try it and things like that, making it more accessible to them versus just watching YouTube videos, ordering it off of Amazon, and then waiting until you get home to probably try it in your hand, because most camera stores, they even haven't caught up. Most camera stores locally in most places have not caught up. So you have this thing where Gary Vee he's saying he agrees about authenticity and he doesn't care about cursing. So we also have to look and just configure our own businesses to decide how much authenticity it is that we're really wanting to have to reach our specific audiences. And I love the fact that, just while I'm quickly getting off Instagram and I'm seeing that, I'm so thankful to Sean. I love Sean, his wife, Sonia, Heather, Susan, Omar. I love the whole team. So thankful and appreciative of them and just everything. So that shout out means the world to me. And I don't think that with a brand as large as Sean has, with everything, if my authenticity wasn't there, if my sincerity and honesty wasn't there, even if he saw the series, like he came across, let's say I'm some random person or whatever, or even if he knew me, same situation, he knows me and who I am and all that. So everything wasn't right. Let's say everything's not together on my end. I don't think he would recommend and say, hey, yeah, go check out that. I think he'd be like, I did a video on the M50. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Somebody in my team will get to you. Or you can Google this and then whatever. So I think that level of authenticity is so key and so vital because it lets people know who you really are. And it's better that you have some people follow you or a smaller number of people follow you that truly get and understand who you are versus have some massive following to where, like, let's say Gary Vaynerchuk professed this level of purity and never did anything wrong. And then all of a sudden, boom, this big story drops and, it is what it is. And I think a lot of times when it's come to a lot of these celebrities and the stuff we've seen on TV for anybody, that you see these horror stories about they live this other life or they're being accused of living some other lifestyle or something that's other than the great person that we've seen them as. It's very hard for people to swallow that, and then to find it to be true is even worse. It's even worse and even harder to swallow. So as this Vlogmas series comes to an end, I would encourage you, especially tonight being, the last live stream that I will do in 2018. And Mari determined that was a lie. So I didn't really realize that it's the 21st and that, we got another Friday coming up, but that's neither here nor there. But needless to say, there will be at least one more live and then that statement will be true. So I'll just link it up later. But let's get back to the video. It was authenticity that brought people here. And it's authenticity that will bring people to your channel and to your business and the things that you're doing. So much like Gary Vee said in that video, you just have to be authentically you and be willing to pay the consequences for being you. So with that, my friends, we're going to leave it there for Vlogmas Day 21. Let me know what things that are authentically you that no matter what, you don't plan to change them for nothing or nobody. But with that, my friends, I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next Vlogmas video.